Okay, let's talk directly with a parent now. Donna Trimble is the Executive Director for Parents for Choice in Education. She's joining us from Calgary. Donna, tell me a little bit about what has raised the alarm for you as a parent getting sidelined on a child's education.
Well, that is it. Fundamentally, the biggest issue that we have in the province right now is that we have a government that is creating a wedge between some of our most vulnerable students in schools and their own parents. And there's nobody that understands the needs of their own children better than parents. The bottom line is that they're making a rule for an exception. It's absolutely true that there are children that are at risk in their families. But the bottom line is that we already, for a long time, have had laws in place under the Child, Youth and Family Protection Act that create a positive duty for every adult, even your neighbor, to report if they feel that there is a child at risk of neglect or harm at the hands of their parents. And that law is what should be standing right now.
Oh,
Instead, there's this sidelining through law and secrecy created that sidelines every good parent across this province. And that's just terrifying.
okay, but at the core of this, the government is arguing this is about protecting against a bullying culture in school, a bullying culture which can happen around a child's sexuality. So what happens when parents have got a climate in their home, maybe that sexuality can't be openly talked about? A kid is more prone to talk to their friends about that. Is that not what these gay-straight alliances are about?
Okay, so let's separate those two things. So, yes, these clubs were developed on the premise that they were required as an anti-bullying um, location where both LGBTQ youth and their allies could come together and support one another. Nobody could possibly, most people would not be offended or have any difficulty with that idea at all. Having a nice, safe, and caring environment. In fact, Parents for Choice in Education has never taken a stance against those types of gay straight alliances. So that is the one argument. Is there a place for these types of settings in schools? Absolutely, in some cases. What we argue for, though, is that schools must be able to be in a leadership position within these clubs, supporting these underage students.
Donna Trimble, hopefully there will be a compromise way forward on this, but it's not looking very hopeful, is it?
Well, this is facing a charter challenge at this time through the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedoms. Several dozen schools, several families already negatively impacted. We ourselves are applicants in that court charter challenge here in the province of Alberta. So we're hoping that this recent appeal that would put this law on hold in the interim will win. It has just gone to the court. We're hoping for an answer to that in the next month or two. And of course, the charter challenge is next year. And I would say that parents across the province simply need to stand up. And the bottom line is the vast majority of parents, especially from what I've found, faith-based parents are incredibly loving, incredibly caring, and that is the primary focus of their care for their children, regardless of any sort of doctrinal belief systems around sexual and gender minority issues. And we've made a grave error when we start with secrecy instead of starting from that place of love and care that families provide for their students. I've heard so many stories where children have been provided support, and in the end, the one thing that mattered most was to know that their parents would love them no matter what, and the vast majority of parents do. So we should be starting there.
All right, Donna Trimble, thank you for joining us.
You bet. Thank you for having me.